allowing local discretion, if I could just push you on that, how it could look in a few years' time though, if there's this central, hard funding, how are we going to allow and facilitate local discretion?
Well, through the schools funding forum, which I sat on for many years, working alongside head teachers of schools of all shapes and sizes, and now early years providers in that schools forum. We had very mature debate and always ended up in coming to a sensible conclusion as to how we could weight parts of the formula and what weighting and what the issue would be that reflected demand and need. I mean, take the premises costs of some schools that are 100 years old, 150 years old, where the energy cost is probably 4 or 5 times a modern academy school built last year. They're big sums of money that need to be, each of those individually add up to large sums of money, and that's where you need the discretion to vary that against the local evidence in a locality.
Okay, thank you.
But it's not, sorry Chair, but it's not just about the national funding formula per se, it's about the various pots of money that you have in terms of capital funding around schools, which needs to be centralised and slimmed down, because it's not just about funding schools, it's about the maintenance of schools, for example. It's about the pay for teachers, for example. We welcome that the government wants to pay the increase for teachers, but that doesn't include the national insurance contribution or pension contribution. So it's all these singularities that we're looking at. When Whitehall talks about children and families, if we really believe that they are at the heart of all we do, Whitehall needs to speak with one resounding voice, not an echo chamber, because the different parts of the system are talking about children and families, but actually when you work in silos, you don't think about how that compacts children and families overall. So it's how do we simplify that system? So you need a funding framework that responds to a rural school and thinking about the transportation, or an inner city school when you're thinking about the cost of living.
Are you saying there's too many